ShadyPenguinn, a top-ranking firecaster from last season's Elestriad, is back and is taking on newcomer Kaycreigh, rocking the Earth element. Both of these casters got to open up 3 starter decks and some special packs for week 1. Let's see what they pulled. Shady opened up Shattered Stars Fire a month before it's released and hits a beautiful hollow Gorgon's Gaze. This could free up one of his Gorgons to trade to a teammate later. He finds a Moss Station and Comagma as well and sets off to build a deck to counter Earth. Kaycreigh hits a Flammoth, but more importantly, a Paleoth and Haboofin. 2 really unique new cards that can transform her Earth deck and make it much more dynamic. With these new cards in their card pools, let's see what Shady cooked up for week 1. Shady and the Imperawatts look to be bringing the heat with an offensive fire aggro deck. This deck will rely heavily on constant pressure with Nekruff and the Nexus Elestral, Kinleo. Eruption is a card to watch out for, as it can catch even the most veteran casters off guard. Kaycreigh opts to lean into a Fire-Earth hybrid deck, which may serve her incredibly well going up against Eruption. The key to this clash, in my opinion, is stadium control, because both Volcaries and Tectoris are looking to get buffed up based on whatever element is dominating the field. And this clash is gonna kick off with Kaycreigh going first. Gonna set a rune face down in the back row, set 2 runes face down for the Cryo Scorchers, and get things kicked off with an Earth Spirit. Let's see which Elestral she's cooking with. It's gonna be the Rummagem. Rummagem, an incredibly powerful Earth Elestral that allows you to search in elements. So that's gonna allow Kaycreigh to grab an Equal Links and set up for next turns, being able to dominate the back row of ShadyPenguinn. Shady's gonna respond with Elechick, an opportunity of his own to search out his Divine Rune, Hephaestus. We know he's only running 1 of these, so being able to grab it now is really, really big. I highlighted the importance of Kinleo in this clash. Being able to utilize Hephaestus as a Nexus target for Kinleo can increase the amount of damage output that Shady can do by destroying opposing Elestrals. Elechick able to fire off an attack into the Rummagem. Let's see if Kaycreigh has any sort of a response. Looks like she's got a Water Spirit and a Tsunami. That's gonna send that Elechick to defense position where it only has 1 defense, which means that Rummagem can threaten it on the upcoming turn. Kaycreigh gonna draw for her turn. We know she's got that Equal Links and she's got an opportunity to put some pressure on. Gonna go with the Fire Spirit instead. Are we gonna see a Nekruff here? It is indeed going to be a Nekruff. Nekruff has that incredible effect when it destroys an Elestral in battle. That opponent must take an extra spirit of damage. ShadyPenguinn facing down 2 Elestrals here. Nekruff has the opportunity to take out the Elechick and deal more damage in the process. Shady's reaching for his counter rune. He's got something. It's a Fire Spirit. It's a Shield of Achilles. Shield of Achilles going to bounce back the Nekruff to Kaycreigh's hand and slow down this offensive blow. That's a really good optimal use of Shield of Achilles, just because, again, you're taking that extra spirit of damage anyway, but the Rummagem going to be able to take out the Elechick nonetheless and leave Shady with an empty field. Shady draws his card, reaches for a Water Spirit. It's going to be Smoltuga. A really, really good card for Shady, as it now allows him to search out any one of his Fire Elestrals that he could possibly want. Opted to go Nekruff. I find that a little interesting. That tells me that maybe Shady doesn't have the best defensive presence right now. He maybe doesn't have a good back row to protect a Kinleo, because while Kinleo is incredible, it doesn't really, bode so well when you don't have counter rune protection. Here comes 2 Earth Spirits. Is this going to be an Earthquake? No shot. Yeah, Earthquake from Kaycreigh. A huge play there. Tectoris smashing down into the screen, shattering the hopes and dreams of the 5 defense Smoltuga. Kaycreigh continues to fire back. Here comes another Fire Spirit. Nekruff comes back for another round, being able to fire off an attack with both Elestrals to an empty field of ShadyPenguinn. His Spirit deck is wide open. He's going to be taking, looks like 2 Vipyros, 2 Fire Spirits going to the Underworld for Mr. Penguin, as these 2 casters are deadlocked at 14-14. Kaycreigh has all of the momentum right now with 2 Elestrals on field. And don't forget that Equal Link sitting in the back. That could be really, really threatening. Fire Spear resting on your laurels coming out. That's going to be able to immediately pressure and threaten the Nekruff. Yeah, that Nekruff is gone and nothing Kaycreigh can do about it. Shady using the fact that he's a little behind to his advantage there. Resting on your laurels, an incredible comeback card if your opponent has 2 or more Enchanting Spirits in the field than you do. Nekruff hits the field here. Going to be able to pressure this Rummagem, but Kaycreigh looks like she might have an answer. Reaching into her back row. She's got 2 spirits. It's going to be an Earth Spirit, and a poison-tipped arrow flies onto the field. That's a Centaur back there in Foley Forest, hitting that Necruff, dropping it to 3 attack, and going to be able to eliminate it at the end of the turn. Now, Shady still can get some advantage out of this, right? He's able to attack with the Necruff, take out the Rummagem. It's going to deal an extra Spirit of damage to Kaycreigh. But again, Shady's going to be left with an empty field when this turn is all said and done, and that gives Kaycreigh the opportunity to really come back in this one and, you know, try to get some big advantage here. Going to take the spirits from the PTA and, of course, the spirit from the Necruff there. Kaycreigh down to 11 spirits, draws a card for turn. We'll see if she's able to get anything rock in this one. Here comes an Earth Spirit. Is this going to be Demeter? 2 spirits. A Nectar of the Gods, perhaps? Let's see. Reaching for her hand. It's going to be the Demeter. So going to enchant Demeter with 2, which means that she can immediately put some pressure on with a handful of different Elestrals, Tectorus being one of them. Equalinx obviously would pressure the Rune Row, which you really don't want to do. There's no back row for Shady. So we'll see what Kaycreigh is cooking here. Are we going to see something big? It's going to be the Equalinx. Okay, so maybe he doesn't have any other options in hand. Equalinx, generally, you want to kind of save this play for when you can threaten that back row rune. Not an opportunity to do so, which kind of means that the Demeter is not the optimal play. And I'll explain why. By putting Demeter out there and then not using it, you open Shady up to have this play of a resting on your laurels again, right? And you're also just exposing 2 spirits in a Demeter in general, so you often don't want to do that, right? I think you're better off saving the Demeter, just throwing out the Equalinx, attacking, or even using that turn to expend to draw to maybe get some sort of an advantage there. ShadyPenguinn gonna throw down with his Comagma, a new Fire Elestral in Frostfall, allows you to draw a card and then discard a card from your hand. Really advantageous that you get to draw first and then discard. And here's the first of the stadiums. I mentioned how crucial these stadiums are going to be in this clash. Volcanic Forge hits the field. And now the Comagma immediately threatens Equalinx and can take it out without a problem, hitting 5 attack now. And of course, the Equalinx unable to do anything about that. It's just going to get cleaned up. Kaycreigh has a really easy window to respond here, right? She's got a couple cards in hand. All she really needs is an Elestral. There's no reason she can't hit over this Comagma given the Demeter. It's going to be a Fire Spirit. It's going to be a Warmite. I love the tech. Warmite going to be able to drop the attack of that Comagma by 4, take advantage of the Forge as well and get a nice little buff, and ultimately give Kaycreigh the advantage she's looking for without even having to use those spirits on Demeter. So really good and like just sound plays all around there from Kaycreigh, getting out that Warmite. A lesser used Elestral, right? Like we don't see Warmite used a ton, but it does have some really interesting applications. This is one of them, right? Dropping an attack of an Elestral by 4 is pretty significant, and we love to see that there. So Mr. Penguin gonna reach into his deck for the Imperawatts, grabs a Necruff. Again, these casters with no back row here, they're just going to be trading Elestrals back and forth. Necruff's a really good one on Shady's end to give this advantage because you're going to be able to take out the Warmite and force a Spirit of Damage on Kaycreigh at the same time. That's big advantage here. And now Kaycreigh's got to deal with a Necruff. So we're kind of in this situation where these 2 casters, again, are just kind of vying for positioning with drawing. Ultimately looking for Elestrals that can just trade with the other one. Kaycreigh's going to probably have to use her Demeter, though, because getting over a 6-attack Necruff is going to be pretty tough unless she's rocking a Tectorus. A back row is set for Kaycreigh. Only 6 spirits to go. Let's see what she's going to be cooking with. This clash is getting close, and Earth Spirit's going to hit the field. What does she have? I'm excited to see what Elestral is she going to play. Is it going to be a Fire Elestral? No, it's going to be Moss Station, a really unique Elestral that actually gets +2 attack for every Earth Spirit enchanting it. That's going to get it to 6 attack, but still going to utilize the Demeter to buff it even further. That's going to allow Moss Station to hit 9 attack in this one. Certainly enough to take out the 6-attack Necruff with the Forge. The downside, however, and we'll see if they recognize this play, Moss Station is supposed to go to defense position at the end phase once it's attacked. It looks like Shady catches that. Always love to see that. We do typically have a judge on hand for these clashes to ensure that everyone is following all the rules. But here we go. Kaycreigh backed up against the wall. Kinleo hits the field, and this is an opportunity for a big play, but Kaycreigh has a face-down Gorgon's Gaze ready to stop the Kinleo. In an ideal world, you try to wait for the Kinleo to push forward with Hephaestus. You wait for the Hephaestus, the Nexus. Maybe Shady indicated he was going to Nexus off Volcanic Forge. I'm not sure. But a huge play there from Kaycreigh with the Gorgon's Gaze, stopping the Kinleo, preventing it from getting the Nexus, and even more importantly, preventing it from attacking as well. That Kinleo unable to attack the Moss Station, which means it's free to go into attack position and now take out the Kinleo, knock it out, and put us in the same situation. This back and forth trade between these two casters as they're looking to see who is going to get the advantage. Shady with another fire. It's a Volcaries. Volcaries comes out to the field with a massive 5 attack because of the Volcanic Forge. That's really big for Shady here. Really good combination play. That's going to allow him to take out the Moss Station. Kaycreigh down to just 3 spirits left. We're going to see if she's going to be able to get any sort of an advantage here because she's going to have to use that Demeter to hit over this thing now. Unless she's able to draw a Foley Forest with an Earth Elestral. Let's find out. Demeter is going to be key. Earth Spirit hits the field. What is the back row for Shady? That could be a huge difference maker. Equalings comes out. Wow, an opportunity to hit over the Volcaries. The disenchant on the Demeter. That's the play. Gets you to 7 attack, which hits over the Volcaries. Unfortunately, Kaycreigh not having an extra spirit on Demeter here means she can't take out that back row as well. And if it's a bad one for her, this could be devastating. Shady reaches for the Tsunami. It wasn't going to matter. Even popping the Tsunami wouldn't have made a difference. It would have been chained and set equal links to defense. Shady has an opportunity to seal the deal here pretty soon. Volcaries shifts to attack position on his main phase. Does he have another Elestral? We know he's got some fun tech with Hephaestus from earlier. He's going to throw down a Thunder Spirit Expend to draw to get a little bit more of an advantage. Going to set a back row, and Volcaries will clean up the equal links without a problem. Kaycreigh down to just 2 spirits left. Volcanic Forge, Volcaries sitting on the field for Shady. Let's listen in for the final plays.
Expend to draw.
Top deck Ambrosia. That's where we both of us, neither of us have seen a single fiending
Not
for some
one.
fruit.
I'm gonna have to pass.
Okay.
Kaycreigh forced to pass her turn after an expend to draw. Just simply could not keep up with the resources of ShadyPenguinn. Casts out a Kinleo with a Thunder Spirit and deals the final attacks into Kaycreigh Spirit deck. ShadyPenguinn and the Imperawats pick up the W. That was a very epic back and forth. ShadyPenguinn ultimately takes that one on the back of Volcanic Forge and some really timely clutch plays as these two casters traded Elestrals back and forth for many, many turns. Make sure you guys like and subscribe for another Clash tomorrow.